you want consistent, high quality seller leads from Facebook, this is the only guide you will ever need. Generating seller leads isn't about spending more money on ads or trying to outbid the competition. It's about positioning your offer the right way so that sellers come to you. The right message paired with a proven campaign structure can turn Facebook into an automated lead machine that delivers qualified sellers every single month. I'm going to show you the exact ad structure that attracts motivated sellers, the campaign settings that get you the lowest cost per lead, and the follow-up systems that convert those leads into listings. This is the exact process that we've used with over 70 different realtors to bring hundreds of seller leads every single month. Let's get into it. All right, now I'm just gonna dive right into it and go ahead and pull the curtain back on our proven seller ad swipe file. I'm just gonna show you every single one that we've ever tested and seen great results with. Now, these are gonna vary from different market to market. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start scrolling through these. You can, for one, go ahead and start taking inspiration, and then I'll go ahead and talk you through kind of how they work and stuff. And then I'm also gonna show you the secret little trick that we use to be able to collect addresses as well on Facebook, knowing that if you've ever run ads targeting sellers before on Facebook, you'll know that you cannot ask somebody for their home address, which is absolutely vital when you're generating seller leads. And so we found a workaround that we use for all of our partners to be able to ask for the address on a lead form so that you don't have to use external landing pages in order to actually collect the address. That way you can keep your cost per lead below $10 for every single lead. So to start, we're gonna go ahead and start with the actual creative. So I'm in our Canvas swipe file. This is where we design new creatives, and this is where we store all of the winners here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go grid view and let you just start kind of looking through every single one of these. One of the ones that is super popular, you've probably seen ads like this. This works incredibly well if you have the right campaign structure set up for this ad. That's just like this kind of aerial shot where you're calling out a specific location and then street by street valuation. At the end of the day, a lot of agents try to kind of shy away from the home evaluation listing ad strategy because they don't believe it pulls in like actual sellers and stuff. And that's the thing, is you're not going to put, not every single lead that comes in is going to be a qualified seller, but if you can generate a large enough volume of them, and on top of that you're collecting addresses, you can start adding these people to your mailing lists. You can do pop buys in the neighborhood, kind of structure them out all based on the geographical location of where the different properties are. You can swing by, drop CMA reports off and stuff, and you can use a lot of leverage in order to get in the door, build relationships with these people, because at the end of the day, if somebody wants to know how much their house will sell for in today's current market, the idea has crossed their mind, right? They may just be kind of seeing what things are looking like right now. That's totally fine. But if you can get their address, get in the door, provide them with some value, and then start actually building a relationship with them, once they are ready to sell, who do you think they're going to call? They're going to call you. They're going to call whoever's been able to provide them with the most amount of value free of charge, right? And that's going to be you here. So this is the strategy that we're using to pull in a lot of leads. I'm just gonna go ahead and scroll through and let you go ahead and just kind of take a look at some of the different things that we've tested. For the most part though, the best performer has always been this aerial shot where you have the different price points and stuff on different properties. One that does really well as well is this one right here. Let me go ahead and zoom in here. So this one right here, where you're calling out a specific city or a specific neighborhood, and then you're listing every single street on the area, on the that's in that actual city or in that neighborhood, and then people see their specific street and they're like, oh, that's actually like that, I live on that street, so this applies to me specifically. And that's done really well, generated sub $10 leads as well. There's one other offer positioning that we've done as well that's done pretty well too, and this was one that kind of only applies to some agents, but that is the cash offer. That is the cash offer angle, right? Where you're basically calling out, anyone who has a distressed property that they may need to sell, something like this, need to sell, we'll buy your house fast for cash, any house, any condition, any situation. And you're trying to basically find people who need to sell, right? You're looking for the urgency. But obviously, if you don't actually have the ability to get them a cash offer within 24 hours, meaning, source it out to a roster of investors, who obviously can be buyer clients for you on the other side of it too. But or maybe purchase the property yourself if you're an investor as well. But these are some different angles that we've seen work really, really well as well to pull in people who are extremely motivated. But keep in mind, you're dealing with a lot more like dilapidated properties when you use a strategy like this. So if you're just a traditional agent and you're looking to get more listings, I would go with the home evaluation strategy and take some inspiration from some of these different creatives, using different colors, targeting different sub neighborhoods and stuff. Even, you know, you could even take if you have a drone, you could even take the photos yourself, but for the most part you can just pull stock images directly off of Canva by coming in here. For example, I'll go ahead and create one and you can just kind of see what my process actually looks like. So if we come in here, we'll duplicate this one and then we can test it in different colors and stuff as well. So say for example, we grab this banner right here, let's test it with like a gradient, and then for example we could like get rid of the background right there and then say Phoenix or something, right? Go ahead and change this to black, and you're just testing all kinds of different things. And then we can go ahead and make this a lot bigger. This is super, super important, making sure that your headlines and call outs are really, really big. We could put Phoenix homeowners as well, but just testing, like that's the number one thing that's going to help you actually pull that cost per lead down, is testing all kinds of different things. And then in terms of replacing the photo, we can go ahead and come in here, aerial shot of neighborhood, and then we can just come into photos here and we have dozens and dozens and dozens of photos that we can actually use. So obviously you want to try to find one that looks kind of like the local market. So like maybe this one right here for the Phoenix area, or it's a little bit more urban, something like that. And then you're just throwing the price points over all the different houses. So just like move your little, you can go ahead and lock the image and then move your little pins over, change the price points, do all that, and then go ahead and change the colors and stuff. And just if you launch like 10 to 15 ads where you're testing different colors, you know, you have them in different neighborhoods and stuff, different price points, like I guarantee you will find one that gets you sub $10 leads. We've even been able to get leads below $5 a pop using this strategy here. So that's how that part works. Now I'm gonna go ahead and show you how the actual ad campaigns are structured. So let me go ahead and delete this, and then I'll go ahead and open up the ads manager. All right, now I'm inside the ads manager here. I'm gonna go ahead and just walk you through a basic setup of campaign. So to go ahead and start, you're gonna make sure, obviously you need to make sure that your campaign is in the housing category or it's going to get rejected. That's the first thing. Then we're gonna be doing instant forms, and then connect your page and everything, set your daily budget, and then go ahead and set up your targeting where you actually want to target. I would test 2 different ad sets, do one with detailed targeting and one with no detailed targeting. So one is completely broad and one is using detailed targeting. And for your detailed targeting, you want to go ahead and open up the interest. So go ahead and come in here, and then you're going to do home value, or home, what's it called? Just anything to do with like Zillow, or not just Zillow, but like anything to do with like real estate essentially. So you want property finder. I think there's one for a home value tool. Maybe they took it off. Value. Yeah, so just really anything. Mortgage calculator is a good one. For sale by owner is a really good one. Just adding a bunch of these interests, and you can do that for your interest targeting, but if it's not working, you might see a higher cost per lead. If you're in a smaller market, that might mess with your numbers a little bit. So technically, like I would say broad is usually the better way to go when you're setting this up. Placements, you can go ahead and try automatic and just let it put it anywhere that you want. Or what I would personally recommend, just because what we've seen works the best, is going in and pulling them off of, let me see, placement controls. Just go ahead and check every single one of these off, and then it's going to be very, very simple. Turn these off as well. I guess you have to leave one of those on. That's fine. You're just going to do Facebook feed, Instagram feed, and Facebook Marketplace. These are the 3 that we see the most conversions on, so I would stick to just these 3. Honestly, you could even do without Facebook Marketplace because that's more for targeting buyers. But Instagram feed, Facebook feed, again, these are all things that you can test with. But when it comes to the actual ad, we're going to come over here, and then the way that you are going to be able to actually collect that address without having to use like an external landing page and allow you to still use forms, instant forms, is by adding the question in manually. So instead of adding a question right here and going like, or when you're adding like information stuff that you're looking for, you'll see like you cannot put address or anything on here because you're in the housing category. But if you manually add the question and you phrase it exactly like this, for some reason you can kind of get around the algorithm, and it'll allow you to actually publish your ads and ask for the address. They just have to manually type it in instead of it being like a typical address form where you're collecting like street address, zip code, whatever, city, state, all of that stuff separately in a bunch of different bubbles. You just let them type it out and it'll automatically collect it as like its own custom question that you're looking to ask here. So make sure you position it just like this. If you just put like property address or something, it could very likely get rejected when you go to submit the ad. So just make sure you phrase it exactly like this, punctuation, everything. That's what I would say, because that is what we know actually works. And then other than that, you should be good to go. So just load up all of your different creatives that you've built into a bunch of different ad sets, set your budget. I usually recommend agents do around $30 a day. That's around $1,000 a month. And with that, if you're getting, $5 to $10 leads, you should easily be pulling in around 30 to 60 leads, or at least every single day or every single month from there. So that is pretty much the strategy that we've used when it comes to actually converting, seller leads using Facebook ads. So hopefully this is something that is able to work for you. If you want me to kind of dive into how we actually convert those leads into listings and go over some of the strategy scripts and stuff when you're calling these leads and actually getting appointments and stuff set, let me know, leave a comment down below, and I can go ahead and get something put together for you.